call to order the regular meeting of June 28th. Can I get approval of agenda? No, sorry. I had this in front of me and I still doing it out of order. And then I think that Ms. Kimmel needs to lead us in the flag salute tonight.
Everybody in the audience, please. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Kimmel. We have nothing to report out of closed session, and can I get approval of agenda?
I move we approve tonight's agenda.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
She said. And Dr. Videra is participating remotely, and Mr. Lawrence was supposed to be participating remotely, but is having internet issues, so he is absent tonight. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the June 14th meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And now staff board communication.
Madam President, I think our staff board communication is mostly a recognition of our CBO who's here for her last board meeting.
Do
Very
you want to
exciting
do
stuff.
board
So-
comments first?
Yes. So, Ms. Cuppel, do you have any comments?
I'll forego my comments tonight.
Oh, I was just going to thank Ms. Kimmel.
I was going to do that when we got to the Miss Kimmel part.
Well, we don't have a Ms. Kimmel part on the agenda, so are you doing your part in staff board communications? Okay, Ms. Cuppel, do you want to go?
Well, okay, then now I would like to thank Ms. Kimmel for her
It's Kimmel time.
many, many years. It means a lot. I don't know if people out there in the district appreciate, your average community member, how stable and consistent we are because we rest on the bedrock of a great business services department. And that has meant a lot all these years, that with the ebbs and flows of the craziness of school funding and federal unfunded mandates and changes out of Sacramento and declining enrollment, I sleep okay at night because I know that Ms. Kimmel is heading things up, and she and her team keep us solvent, keep things working, and allow us to do what we need to do. So I'm very excited for her new position because moving on to be the CBO of the County Office of Ed is a pretty big deal, going from one district to 80 districts. So congratulations, and we will miss you. And we can't thank you enough for the service to the community and the district.
Ms. Stein?
Thank you very much. Ms. Kimmel, I can't thank you enough. I mean, with what you do as the CBO and the Assistant Superintendent of Business in the district, it's never easy. Doesn't matter if we don't have money, the district doesn't have money, it doesn't matter if we have money, it's never easy. It's never consistent. We never know from one year to the next what the budget is. Families can't budget that way, and you have done it. And you have helped the team foster trust with our associations. It's one of the greatest things that I am professionally and personally proud of, is this district and our associations and the collaborative way in we work together to solve problems. And you were and are a big, giant part of that. They trust your numbers. They trust your judgment, they trust your instincts. We all do. And so thank you. You have brought us through some very difficult times. We were one of the first districts that negotiated furlough days back in the Great Recession, and that's not fun to have employees take a pay cut, but our associations agreed to that. And again, it really speaks to, everyone's leadership, but mostly yours, because you are in charge of that. And thank you. As Ms. Cutbill said, sleeping at night when we've been having problems, and COVID was another curveball to us. I'm going to use some baseball speak tonight, but that was another curveball to us that nobody has ever lived through. And what you did in setting up process and procedures and PPE, was just remarkable. So we appreciate your leadership. We thank you. And you've worked with parents, you've worked with teachers and principals and everyone. You've been a guiding light for this district and for the community. And now we bid you farewell on to the major leagues. So we like to think of you as like our students that, you're graduating from the minor leagues, even though we really are the big leagues, but the minor leagues, and you're going on to the majors. We're going to miss you, and we know you're going to have such great success. So thank you.
Dr. Badera, did you want to say anything? Sending her love. So, and I also want to thank you, Ms. Kimmel, for, I have the perspective of working with you as the PFC treasurer for many years, and I know how well you work with all of the elementary, middle, and high schools, and the great training that you provide, and then have just been amazed at what you juggle once I got on the board and saw all of the areas that you're involved with, your grace under pressure, and we truly do appreciate everything that you have done for this district and for this board. And we'll pass it on to Dr. Stepanowski, and
Do you want to present right now?
we will.
Okay.
Yep. So I think we have a few things to give Ms. Kimmel, so maybe we'll continue to embarrass her as much as possible and meet her at the podium. And Greg, yes, podium time. Greg, if you can zoom in as much as possible on an uncomfortable Ms. Kimmel, that would...
Where are you going?
All right. Kimmel. There's a horrible rumor, there's a picture of me sitting somewhere in LA County Office of Education right now, so I asked Ms. Kimmel when she gets down there to take a selfie with it. Don't want her to feel that she's too far away from us. So the board did a proclamation for you, Ms. Kimmel, and we're excited to share a little bit about it right now. I won't read all the whereases. They're all awesome. So obviously, whereas you served Las Virgenes, our 4 cities, 10,300 students. You served as a board member for the Alliance of Schools of Cooperative Insurance Programs. I never knew what that stood for until now. That's ASCIP, excellent. And held the role of treasurer for both the schools linked for insurance, SLIM, schools linked for insurance management. I'm learning a lot right now, this is excellent. Our joint powers agreement and the California Statewide Delinquent Tax Financing Authority. Your work has been recognized by CASBO, California Schools Business Officials Organization, for a Smart Business Award. You've also been honored by multiple community organizations, including City of Calabasas, Superior Public Service Award, which came with an amazing faucet. Great, did you get that? And also the Boys and Girls Club have honored you with their Community Partner Award for your amazing work. I'm sure part of that was through the Woolsey Fire. Began your career in Las Virgenes in 1998 as Director of Accounting, served with dignity and distinction, later promoted to the position of CBO in 2007, and then Assistant Superintendent of Business in 2012. Also served as Adjunct Instructor, teaching educational finance to aspiring school administrators in our very own Center edX credentialing program. And you've also worked with nonprofits on financial controls, parent volunteers, and charities such as National Charity League. Ms. Kimmel has provided financial guidance and vision necessary to make Las Virgenes School District one of the best, and we will keep it that way. And if there are any challenges, we'll come running to you right away. Maybe I'll call you at the same time. Ms. Kimmel has demonstrated dedication, tireless work ethic, in working with her colleagues to complete projects prioritizing the best interest of students, bond work, massive construction projects, and support of child nutrition, maintenance, operation, and purchasing. And finally, Ms. Kimmel has been a consistent leader throughout her time in Las Virgenes, been a pillar in the community, a leader among business officials throughout the state. And as Ms. Stein said, you've enjoyed the trust of the district, our association, our teachers, our community. We recognize you for your dedicated service and significant contributions to Las Virgenes Unified School District this day, 28 June 2022.
We have some lovely flowers for you and a nice card, and the gift card is in the mail. I will, all my years of being a treasurer and all of your training said, don't ever get gift cards, and this is my payback.
That's great. Thank you so much. Should I do my little staff work here? Okay. All right. I wrote down a couple things because I didn't want to forget. But anyways, thank you all so much. That was very sweet. And thank you especially to Hallie for keeping your promise. She made me some promises that I would not be too embarrassed this evening. I just want to share, after 24 years with Las Virgenes, it's been an incredible journey. And it all started when Jessica was going into kindergarten, and she recently finished her first year as a teacher, which I'm so proud of her. Surviving recessions, multiple plane crashes, wildfires, and a worldwide pandemic, it's been gratifying to work with so many amazing leaders and dedicated staff members. I'll never forget all those days during the fires, and we were constantly on Google Documents and conference calls, and cabinet was together constantly trying to work through all that. Working with Dr. Finneran, Julie Pacetto, and Kelly Beater to get through the Woolsey fire remediation, and then off schedule, Christine Torres and I working with the YMCA to distribute the grants to the victims is a time in my life I'll never forget. Special memories also include the SOS fundraising campaign, our pocket chart negotiations, multiple bond and parcel tax elections, some that we won and some that we didn't, building the PACs and the Lupin Hill multipurpose room and classrooms, crazy cabinet limericks, and dress up for staff appreciation days, bringing our school students back to school safely after the COVID shutdown, and organizing something like 20 amazing vaccine clinics with Jessie Sweeney, and one special one with Hallie Chambers that was extra fun with the Fun Zone. Serving as a member of our dynamic admin team's been a memorable experience I will always treasure. I have a debt of gratitude to Craig Hokehouse, who encouraged me to apply for my first position so many years ago, and to Dr. Fitzpatrick and Dr. Zimring, who took a chance on the accountant who had never worked in a school system. In my new role as the CFO for the LA County Office of Education, I hope to have the opportunity to work with many of you in the future, all on good stuff, not bad stuff. I have a huge amount of respect for my team. I know everyone's going to continue to serve the students of our community. And I just want to say thank you very much for this special chapter in my life. I will always cherish my years at LVUSD. Thank you.
So we let you go intentionally, so we would have the last word. So I think Mr. Klein has some slides.
Also, real quick, what was promised that we wouldn't do? I just, pure
I
curiosity.
think she was concerned that we not have Dr. Dunn big heads here.
That is correct.
Okay, gotcha. I wish I would have known that information.
Dr. Dunn on a stick.
You didn't like that, Karen?
We could
Having PTSD about that.
put a rush on those.
Okay. I'm up first, so we got a few slides, all designed to embarrass Ms. Kimmel. So this is a picture from Dianza Park. I think we were singing a song to the staff of staff appreciation, and Ms. Kimmel was not interested in singing, so we gave her, I think, or maybe Dr. Dunn. It's all about bad choices, right? So the question is, so Ms. Kimmel's to the left, and we shined a little spotlight on her face so you could see. I wonder if the board has any ideas who might be on the right-hand side of the image in that dino suit. Someone who had no interest in singing. Derek Ihori.
There you go.
So if you weren't singing, we made you get in a dino costume and dance, I believe, is what they had to do. And it was about 110 degrees out there, and we definitely had to do a welfare check on them. But a lot of fun. She's got a great spirit, a lot of laughs, great heart. We do love our Miss Kimmel. Next slide. This is going to go for a while, so relax.
So Miss Kimmel has always brought her own personality to each of our staff welfare events. I think this is the inaugural Halloween costume contest. And in the spirit of sustainability, never let a good opportunity go to waste to make sure that, to remind us of our core message. So always there for fun. You know, Karen has the unique challenge of having multiple departments in these competitions and contests. So seeing her participate, I think she is the reigning defending champion right now for the Halloween costume contest. And so we'll have to make sure that title belt makes its way back for Halloween, but you can take it to LACO for a few months.
Karen, having fun here. So going back, it's hard to imagine how scary it was at first when this pandemic hit. Karen and her team were on top of getting us our PPE, holding vaccine clinics. She was the glue to hold us all together. When we needed something, we knew we could count on her, and very much appreciative of all of her support and her team and what they accomplished in a very short period of time to alleviate the fears all of us had about the unknown.
So the largest department of employees that feel taken care of by Karen is facilities and maintenance. Her kindness, leadership, recognition of their efforts, and attention to detail are consistent and unwavering. You can tell by the photo here that Karen is a frequent presence at meetings and team bonding events. Whenever I have a question about facilities, I am impressed by the level of Karen's knowledge of their work planning and the costs associated with projects. It is impressive that Karen has both the sensitivity to build and support teams and the fiscal and facilities knowledge to track and plan for the maintenance and operations of all the buildings and grounds throughout our district. Thank you, Karen, for your years of effective and comprehensive service to LVUSD.
All right, this one's mine. When it comes to big projects, you know that Karen is your woman. Not only does she have amazing construction site fashion sense, you'll notice she has a custom helmet up there. Really pretty. You could always count on Karen to persevere and to manage those big projects and those big budgets better than anyone. Even though this particular one, this is your Hees Hall project, you can see the very beginning and the very end of it. Even though this project took longer than expected, was really difficult to do, you'll notice that everybody in the bottom picture doesn't appear to have aged a day, even though it felt probably like they aged about 10 years before this one got done. It's such a pleasure to work with you, Karen, on these big projects and to see them through and see the great successes that you've had while you've been here.
One of Ms. Kimmel's greatest accomplishments was hosting multiple vaccine clinics for the LVUSD community. She spent countless hours planning and executing these important events in order to provide this resource to our students, families, and staff members. From communicating with Albertsons, sending out information to families, and supporting the efforts for fun, Ms. Kimmel was instrumental in making this endeavor come to fruition. We truly appreciate all of her hard work.
And do we get to guess who's in the coyote?
You can guess, yes.
You mentioned Mr. Craig Hokehouse earlier in your speech there, and there is Craig in the to the right of that picture there. And I just wanted to share from our negotiations team how much we've appreciated you and doing that great work that you've done year after year. I'll say for me personally, when I began in my current role, you were a teacher to me about the budget and very patient with me, and it was an area where I really needed to gain a lot of understanding, and I'll forever be grateful for you helping me with that and learning that. And I think on behalf of our staff, our classified and certificated crew, there was just so much of a trust and a relationship with you that I know that they would all share. They just, felt that they trusted you, and they trusted your numbers, and they trusted you as a person. So that means a lot, and was a big instrumental factor in getting those deals and settlements and working together with people. So you'll be greatly missed, but we're comforted knowing that you'll be watching over us in LA County.
Iconic.
This could be a good one to end on.
Where is she?
She's
Which one? Yeah, front. Oh, okay.
Is that Peter, Chris?
So this was one of the staff appreciations, yeah, because we took the staff to La Paz, and we all sang songs to them, and I think Rose is throwing some gangs.
What is Rose doing? That's actually just what I do.
I don't know, maybe sing thumb down, I don't know.
She seems unhappy.
You got Jim in the middle there with his tongue out.
That's Rose's rock and roll sign.
Yeah, I think Mary's probably the most concerning person on the far left.
It's a tough call, though. Yeah. There's a lot of concerning faces up there.
Yeah, you really can't top this photo. We've already shared all these with Deborah Duardo down at LACO, so wanted you to be welcome.
We'll just hope she's not watching for Karen's sake. Yeah.
I mean, when they called them reference checks, we just shared photos, transparent and open. And get ways we shared earlier, Karen's got a great sense of humor, and she has a huge heart as well. I know when I went in for a couple of surgeries 5 years ago, I think Sharon and I left at 3 a.m., and Rose, I think, took the kids to school, and Karen picked them up and drove them down to the hospital for us. So that was very sweet for her to be there, and she got to see maybe some pretty emotional reactions from the kids. So I'll always remember that and appreciate that. We love you, Karen, and we're going to miss you, but of course, we're right here, and we'll be calling often, maybe all at the same time.
Second round?
Second round? That's a good one to end on.
This picture is just,
Yeah.
it's
Priceless.
iconic to me. Yes.
Priceless. It needs to be blown up and hung somewhere.
Or not. Yeah, pass a bond. These are the people in charge of the bond you're going to vote on.
So does that conclude staff board communication?
Sorry, that does. Thank you, Steve.
Are you sure?
All right. And there's nobody in the audience no cards or anything, so can I have a motion to approve consent A?
So moved?
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve consent B?
I move we approve consent B.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Action items. Approval of local control and accountability plan.
Madam President, members of the board, the LCAP, as was stated in the last meeting, needs to come by statute before the board and as an info item during a public hearing, which was held on June 14th. During that meeting, we went over the LCAP comprehensively with the board, and it has been an ongoing multi-month process. With the board's approval tonight, we will submit to the LA County Office of Ed, who will review it over the course of the next month. If all goes according to plan, there'll just be minor changes that LACO suggests. If for any reason there's major material changes, we would bring it back to the board down the road. So by statute, we need to have this approved by June, by the end of this month. And if there's any questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
Does anybody have any questions?
We reviewed it at the last meeting, and it looks very thorough.
Yeah, there's always two items on this second June board meeting for the public. There's always budget, and there's always the LCAP, and we go into them in greater detail in the first meeting in June, and the second meeting we adopt them. So if there isn't a lot of discussion, that's why, because the information has been presented to the board, and I have no question.
And several committees.
And
before.
many committees. Yes, there's a long runway for both, so.
Yeah.
And the LCAP is the strategic plan that the budget follows, goes hand in hand with the strategic plan of how we spend our money.
Right.
Okay, with that, would you like a motion?
Yes, please.
I move to approve the 22-23 LCAP.
Can I get a second?
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Approval of budget adoption.
Ms. Kimmel.
Madam President, members of the board, I wanted to just take a couple of moments to recognize Ms. Christine Torres, who's in the back of the room. This is also Christine's last board meeting, as I'm very proud to say that she is going on to be the chief business official for Birmingham Charter School. And she started just like I did with finance and accounting background, but no school experience. And she dove in, and her thirst for knowledge has paid her dividends. She learned the system, she got her CBO certification, and I'm very happy for her that she gets to move on and really spread her wings. So very excited about her future. That being the case, this is a budget that she worked long and hard on, and as Ms. Cupbill mentioned, we've gone over it in great detail with Finance Committee, and we shared at the public hearing at the first meeting in June. Not very many changes because the governor and the legislature finally agreed on a budget yesterday, and obviously this budget that we have to adopt was posted on Friday. So the changes that are impacted, which are to the good, will probably increase our ongoing funding about $3 million a year. Those will all be rolled in at the 45-day revise mark in August. But for the most part, we've got a budget here that was reviewed 2 weeks ago. We took everything into consideration, and we did make the slight adjustments for the Fund 17 that the board voted on last meeting. But other than that, everything is the same. And happy to answer any questions.
Does anybody
No
have any
questions? I think the big changes will come in 45 days when we incorporate the actual state-adopted budget portion for education. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve budget adoption?
I move we approval of the budget adoption.
In a second.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And the last item on the agenda is approval of provisional internship permit credential for single subject chemistry.
Madam President, members of the board, the following provisional intern permit is needed for the 2022-23 school year to fill a science position at Agora High School. The candidate holds a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering from West Virginia University and a master's degree in chemical engineering from the University of Notre Dame. However, he does not yet have his teaching credential. He's currently pursuing it, and he's in a program, which is why staff is recommending approval for the provisional intern permit.
How long does a provisional program typically last?
A little short of a year.
And he has his doctorate as well.
He's got a lot of
Yeah.
stuff going on. Yeah,
Okay, great.
we're excited about him. Just hired actually over at Agora, so
Fabulous, thank
teaching
you.
chemistry.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions? Can I have a motion to approve the provisional internship permit?
So moved?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. And with that, our meeting is adjourned.